welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is my 5th ever video, and in this video I wanted to rank the atheist arguments from S tier to F tier. So I've seen many people make videos about ranking like Christian arguments. Genetically Modified Skeptic made a video like that, so I just thought it would be cool to make a video ranking the atheist arguments. And I won't be refuting all of them. I'll just be ranking them. I'll probably refute the ones that I feel like need refuting. And also, I'm in a new background, as you can see. I like this location very much, so I'll probably be using it from now on. It's really nice, and I was just enjoying the, nice day, so that I could make this video. Okay, so let's get into it. All right. Okay. So first. Evolution disproves God. Okay, so evolution doesn't disprove God. Evolution is like a part of. Okay, so evolution or natural selection says that complex things can come from nature, just from natural occurring events. Complex things can come, but that doesn't prove that God doesn't exist. Why? Because even if they say that complex things can come from naturally occurring events, that doesn't mean that however it started, like something had to start somewhere for us to be here, right? It doesn't address the fact that God, that a divine creator could have set that in motion, resulting in the creation of complexity. Because obviously, for us, it would seem like nature. Because that's the only thing we know. We don't have anything else to compare it to. We don't have anything else to compare our ideas of nature. Obviously, if God set the universe in motion, he would make it so that naturally complex beings would occur. That may seem like nature to us, but obviously because God is the very nature from which we were created. So that doesn't really refute it. It's not really. It's just, I don't think it's a good argument. I know, but I'll give it C tier. It's okay. It's okay. So the Bible endorses insert moral wrongdoing here. So the Bible endorses wrongdoing. No. It says moral wrongdoing. The Bible is a moral code. The Bible does mention things such as slavery and adultery and prostitution and other really bad things. But the Bible never endorses those behaviors. It just states them so that we know to stay away from those things. I'll give that D tier. I just believe in one less God than you do. I never liked this argument. I never liked this argument. This argument is just saying, it's literally the defining thing. You either believe that the universe was started by a creator or you don't. There's not it's not a spectrum. It's just it's a yes or no answer. It's a numerical answer. It's either yes, I do believe that the universe was started by a divine creator. How many of those creators there may be, it doesn't change the fact that you're either atheist or you're not, or you're a theist. And obviously, when they say that that atheists just go one step further and deny the rest of and deny one more God than Christians do. A very good analogy that Brian Holdsworth made was that if you do 5, if you say that 2 plus 2 equals 4, or let's just say if you say that 1 plus 1 equals 2, you deny that 1 plus 1 equals 3, or that 1 plus 1 equals 4, or that 1 plus 1 equals 5. You deny the rest of the possible infinite solutions that could be there. You deny that. And the atheist argument is basically they're saying that, well, I just go one step further and deny that 1 + 1 = 2 and 1 + 1 does not equal 2. Yeah, so it's like it doesn't work like that, So yeah, I think this one trips up a lot of Christians because it's like so quick and they don't know how to, like, I guess, articulate it. But yeah, I really liked Brian Holzer's analogy of that. So yeah, I'll give that F tier. Science can explain the world without God. Okay, so science and religion are completely different things. They're separate studies. Science can explain how the universe started, perhaps, but religion explains why, and they're completely different questions. So I'll give that F tier as well. I know I'm sounding very critical here. Okay, so all right. The problem of evil. Okay, so this is one that many people say. There's another one on here that says the problem of hell. So I'm just gonna put these two in the same category as the problem of evil. Or at least I think they're both the same category. I'm just gonna pretend as if they are. So evil. Many people ask, if God is all powerful and all knowing, then why did He create evil? Why did He make it so that evil is possible? But obviously, if you believe in free will, like I do believe in free will, well then, God must have given us a choice to either choose God or to choose evil. He gave us this choice because in order to have creatures, or in order to have people that are righteous and people who choose good, and people who are morally good, you must have people who are morally wrong, because in order to have good people, you have to have the choice, because only people who are good will choose either only people who are good will choose God and will choose to worship God. Obviously, we failed and we did not choose God, but I mentioned this in my last video, that to have true love for God, we must have a choice to live. That's what makes love special, because we have a choice to either love God or to not love God. And so God created evil so that there could be good, so that there can be good creatures and morally good people. Obviously, we failed and we became evil creatures, and we still are evil creatures. But God, Jesus Christ sacrificed Himself for us. So yeah, that's why God created evil. And also, okay, so to address the problem of hell, God doesn't send anybody to hell. We send ourselves to hell. We deserve it. I've always saw that. Okay, so I'll give those D tier. Okay. Let's see, what's the next one? The Bible is full of contradictions. So it's just not. That's just you can look into it. It's just not. I'm not gonna address them fully. It's just untrue. There are many people who address this quote unquote contradictions that there are in the Bible. So I'm gonna give that E tier. There is no evidence for God. Okay. I don't know. There is evidence for God. This is F tier because to deny that there's no, we can do this both ways. There's no evidence that God doesn't exist. So there's no concrete evidence that God doesn't exist. So, that's what the debate is about, So they can't just simply say there's no evidence for God, because it's like a double-edged sword. There's no evidence that God doesn't exist, and there's no evidence that God does exist. Obviously, there's logical, you can think of it logically, and there's logical premises that you can make to come to the conclusion that God must exist based on things that we know of, like the ontological argument, which is my favorite argument. I won't get into the ontological argument right now, but yeah. Okay, so sorry, I'm shaking. It's pretty chilly out here right now, but it's okay. Okay, so Alright, so, if God created the universe, then who created God? This is one that is, okay, this one is truly F tier. This one's F tier. Because I remember when I was like 9 or 10, I don't know, maybe I was younger, I asked my father, like, because we were talking about the Bible and about the book of Genesis, and we were having dinner and we were talking about that, and and so I asked him, well, if God created the universe, who created God? That's something that a 9-year-old came up with. Like, it's not very impressive that atheists still use this. A 9-year-old could, I mean, it's an elementary question. Like, obviously we would all have the question, well, then who created God? But it's because my 9-year-old brain, maybe I was younger, I think I was younger, is because my 9-year-old brain could not wrap my head around an infinite being. Because if we propose, say God A created God, well, then who created God A? Say God B created God A. If we do this for an infinite amount of time, then we can't exist. We logically cannot exist, because we'd have to be traversing an infinite amount of time, because each God would have to be creating an infinite amount of other gods. So therefore we cannot exist, because we'll never get to the God that creates the universe, because there's an infinite amount of gods, unless we propose that whole idea is God itself, and that God himself is infinite. If we propose that God himself is infinite and separate from the universe, and then God set the universe into motion, then we exist. Obviously, God must exist. Well, by this logic, God, there must be one infinite God, because we exist. So yeah, so I already addressed why does, okay. God is a dictator. So this is a really bad argument, because so what if God is a dictator? Dictatorship is, okay, so I've always said this, that political ideologies don't work because of human error, or at least don't work as well as they could work because of human error. Humans are the reason that most political ideologies do not work as well as they could work. For example, capitalism doesn't work as well as it could work. I would obviously take capitalism any day over socialism or anarchism, but still, capitalism doesn't work as well as it could, because of the morality of the big business owners who are only looking for money. Obviously, if they had morality in question, we would have a great society, because not only would they be making money for themselves to sustain themselves, but they wouldn't deceive the public. Socialism would work far better, because socialism is basically just an invitation for somebody to seize power and to take control. If there was a socialist society where everyone was perfect, it would work. I mean, this is why Singapore is the only socialist society that works, and obviously there's small villages and towns in Jerusalem who all are Jewish and who all believe in the law set down by God, and they have a communist society there. And the reason that it works is because it's a small village and everyone there is Jewish. Everyone believes in the same thing, and everyone is held to the same regard. So I'll give this D tier. Atheists are more scientific than religious people, than theists. So, okay, so there's another one on here that's also like, no scientific proof of God. Okay, so here's the thing. Science comes from religion, obviously. So if we look at history, the most scientific societies have been the most religious ones. If you look at ancient Egypt, they believed in the Egyptian gods, and they were extremely scientific. They built, obviously they saw order when there seemingly was disorder. The Islamic Golden Age was a period in history where there was like immense scientific advancements, and it was run by Muslims. Obviously not Muslim, but still they were people who believed in a God and in an orderly creator. And obviously the Renaissance the reason that these societies have made scientific advancements is because they believe that the world is intelligible because it was created by a orderly designer, by orderly but not cause they were created by a designer, by an intelligent designer. Therefore, the Earth is intelligible, so it can be so with our intelligence we can figure it out. If we look at older societies like cavemen, they obviously or like they didn't want to waste their time and resources into looking into science and to predicting weather patterns or stuff like that because they saw disorder. All they saw, it was seemingly all in disorder. They couldn't see any patterns. Only until there were religious societies where they could see, well, if the universe was created by intelligent beings, by intelligent deities, then there must be order in this universe because it was created by orderly creatures. Therefore, they did spend their resources and time to try and figure out these patterns in the universe and in the world that they live in. And guess what they found? They did find patterns, and that's how science was born. It was born out of theology. Natural selection. Okay, we already went over that. Okay, can God create something so heavy? So God can't create something so heavy that he can't lift it, therefore he's not omnipotent. So okay, so that's a contradiction. That's a logical contradiction. Obviously in the Bible God can't lie. God can't be evil. He's incapable of being evil. So there are things God can't do, but it's not because he's not omnipotent. It's a contradictory. It's just absurd. Like it's not like, I'll give this one a good I'll give it B tier, only because it trips a lot of people up. But it's a logical absurdity. You can't just suggest that. Okay. I think. Oh, religiosity depends on where you were born. So I hear this argument a lot. Like, if there was a God, then why wouldn't he make it so that everyone has an equal chance to come to him? But this is why God created the church. And the fact that the church was already able to spread so far, and more than 50% of the world, or like almost 50% of the world is a part of this church. Like that already is an example of how God was able to, through the church, expand. That's why God sent us to preach the word to other people, so that they can come to him as well. Yeah, so that's all. That was my video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you like the new location that I'm in, although it's a little chilly. And so yeah, I'll try to be making videos every other day, hopefully. And I just want to be consistent with my videos. And so yeah, thank you for watching, and goodbye.